Hello again, welcome to today's attempt at a Stepdle puzzle. Last time I played this game, all of my starting guesses had A as the second letter. So this time, they're all going to have B as the second letter. Let's see if I can obey this rule. Well, I've obeyed it to start with and it's given me an E. That is better than 4 greys, isn't it? Let's see if we can race through this. Wow, we can! The E is going to be first. That is very unexpected, but clearly it's going to be each. Each to their own. We will move on to the 5-letter word. About has a B in second. And we've got the 2 vowels correct. O and U are not the 2 most common vowels, so that's a bit of a stroke of luck. That's why I like to go for slightly less common letters sometimes, because it pays off in unexpected ways. It feels like it's going to be O in second and U in third. So it could be mound or found or hound. So we might be in a bit of a hard mode trap here. But I think I just have to go through all of them, or I'll go for one of them and find out if it is an O-U-N-D ending, because it might be something completely different. Oh, it is O-U-N-D. So this might not be a sound tactic, but I'm just going to go through all of the options I can think of until we hit the correct one, which we get eventually. That could have been slightly worse, I suppose, but it definitely could have been better. Right, what is a 6-letter word that has a B in second? How about... I mean, everything I think of has got a duplicated letter, which I don't want to go for either. Oh, I don't know what is a sensible thing to go for. How about... I mean, I keep thinking of a bridge, but that is too long. We can go for a bridge on the 7-letter one. I just need to abridge that to be a 6-letter one. How about abroad? I know it duplicates a letter, but we've got to go for something. And I should not have gone for that. 6 greys. That is pretty unfortunate. We need some new letters. How about we just mix things up a bit? That's much more like it. 3 yellows. I'd have preferred some greens, but you can't have everything. I suppose we need to put the S at the front, but what are we going to do with the I? Well, let's not put the S at the front, because the first option I thought of that works is mystic. Wow, that is not as good as I was hoping. We've still only got those same 3 letters. So is the I going to be second or fourth? Those are the 2 most likely places for it. Visits would work if we hadn't ruled out the S, and they tend not to have plurals or verb forms ending in S anyway. But what else can we go for? Something IS. Where's the T going to go? Last, perhaps? A tisket, a tasket, it's fun to pack a basket. But I don't think anything comes before this in a 6-letter one. I can think of brisket, but obviously that's not right for several reasons. So, what is going to be correct? This is where I'm regretting the fact that I haven't used the E so far, but there is no guarantee that there is an E. I mean, T could be there instead, with an E after it perhaps, but then that feels very unlikely. I think an ET ending definitely feels more likely. But what would that 4th letter be? That is the question. S-I-T-E? Can't be on-site. Up-site. None of these things feel particularly likely. Interesting. What are we going to do? I cannot see how the I can be first or last. So it's got to be second or fourth, surely. Unless it's this specific word itself. Wow. That was a super difficult one. I think whatever word I started with, I was going to struggle with that, unless I found a 6-letter word that had a B in second and happened to end with the F, which gave me the F straight away. That was tricky. But now we can go for a bridge. 7 different letters. Surely this will be a better starting guess than the 6-letter one. I knew I shouldn't have tempted fate. 6 greys. Wow. Only the E. Okay. We'll try 6 new letters, if you insist. Costume. There we go. That's a little bit better. Still not as good as I was hoping for, but you can't have everything. Right. Is the M going to go first? Mon something? Could well be an OSE ending. Something like compose, but of course we've ruled out the C, so it can't be that specific word. Can it be something along those lines? Not certain. Something along those lines is what I'm thinking. Because we are going to need another vowel, surely, somewhere between the O and the E. It feels like an O is more likely, but could be that kind of sequence with a duplicated E. But I'm not completely confident about that either. We would need to fit the M in somewhere. We're kind of losing positions if we go for that. So the original field I had is more likely, but the fact that I can't think of anything that works makes it a lot less likely, obviously. Moose, vamoose would have been a great word, except obviously it's clearly wrong. Huh. Moonies. I don't think that's a word. What is the ending going to be if it's not some kind of SE ending? That is the problem here. And if it's not an S, if it is an SE ending, then what are we going to do with the M? Moon something. It's just not going to work, is it? Mono something? Mono C? That's not a word. Oh dear. That doesn't have to be an N, of course. What are we doing with this S? The O and the E are the only vowels we can use. That's what makes it extra tricky. What about if the S is first? Sombrero. That ends in an O, not an E, and it's too many letters, and we've ruled out the B and the R, so that's clearly not correct. Someone, that could be correct. That's how we get around the SE problem. We don't have an SE at all. Wow, that was a few tricky ones there. Someone itself, I mean, they're pretty related words, really. Anyway, we got there in 16 total guesses. Definitely not my best, definitely not my worst. But we got a bit unlucky with that 5-letter one, didn't we? Other than that, it's actually a pretty good performance. Pretty slow, but not too many guesses. So I'm not too sad about that. Just got a bit unlucky with the OUND endings, which I predicted before it happened. Anyway, we got there in the end, and that is Stepdle B. Thank you for watching, and bye for now.